Good morning students. Welcome to the online class. Today we are going to see about class 9 social science history chapter 1 the French Revolution part 1. Have you heard about the French Revolution before? Yes, it was a great revolution which was started by France people, and this was the first revolution we have never seen before. The world never seen before this type of revolution. Actually, this is the main inspiration. This gave the main inspiration to all the people of the world. We know about our revolt of 1857. Yes, that was considered as a first war of Indian independence. The same way in France, this French Revolution was considered as a independence, right? Yes, this gave many ideas to all other parts of the world. So now let's see about the French Revolution in brief in this lesson. Actually, I have already said French Revolution is the best one, and it was a great incident. Because of that, the world got so many ideas from this French Revolution. It started in 1789, mid of the 18th century, and a series of events started by the middle class that shaken the upper classes. Actually, this French Revolution was carried out by middle class people. The people revolted against the cruel regime of monarchy. Actually, what was going on there in France? It was a monarchical form of government. It was a cruel one. So this revolution put forward the ideas of liberty, fraternity and equality. So the middle class people, they demanded liberty, fraternity and equality. So this was got from the French Revolution. Actually, this revolution began on 14th July 1789 with the storming of the fortress prison, the Bastille. Here, the Bastille is a prison. It was a fortress prison, and this prison was stormed by the French people. Actually, the common people mainly, they stormed this Bastille. Why they have stormed this Bastille? What was the reason for that? This Bastille, actually, this was the symbol which was hated by all. Why? The people hated this fortress prison because it is the symbol of the despotic power of the king. Actually, the king who ruled this France, he was a despotic, cruelty. They showed the cruelty. So they all hated this Bastille prison, and so that first they demolished this fortress. So now let's see the causes for the French Revolution, right? Yes, there were different causes were there. Here we are going to see the main causes which lead to the French Revolution. They were social cause, economic cause and political cause. Let's see one by one. Social cause. French society during the late 18th century. Before that, you should know about the society of French during the late 18th century, how it was. It was known as old regime. That French society was known as old regime. Actually, this was described by old regime. Before 1789, this name was used. Okay. And here the society was divided into 3 estates. How the French society was divided? That society was divided into 3 estates. First estate includes clergy. Who are this clergy? Group of persons involved in church matters. Those who are involved in church matters, they are known as clergy. So the first estate people means only the clergies. And the second estate people includes nobility. Nobility means the persons who have high rank in state administration. Here this administrative people all comes under second estate people, nobility. And what is the third estate people? It comprises of big businessmen, merchants, court officials, lawyers, peasants and artisans, landless labor servants. Actually, the middle class as well as the lower class people all totally comes under this third estate people. So in this way, the French society was divided into 3 estates. So let's see the hierarchy. Which was the toppest position, which is the dominant group here is, that is the first estate, clergy, and next level is second estate, nobility, and third level, under the low level, the third estate people, everyone else, that's the remaining people, everybody included in this third estate. Now let's see one by one about them. So whatever the facilities, actually the privileges have been given to these estate people. Actually here all the privileges given to only the first two classes. Who are the first two classes? Yes, clergy as well as nobility people, administrative side, whomever are there, that, and the church people. They were exempted from paying taxes. They don't want to pay any taxes, and they enjoyed privileges by birth. By birth even, they can enjoy all privileges. Nobility classes also enjoyed feudal privileges. Feudal privileges means they can make slaves to work on their houses, and even wherever they go, they can employ so many people. So this is feudal privileges also given to this nobility. Then who has to pay taxes here? Only the members of the third estate had to pay taxes to the state. So whatever the taxes they have to pay. Here direct taxes also there, indirect taxes also there, and another one, special taxes also can be paid by the peasants. So what are the direct taxes paid here? That is taille. The name, you should keep it in mind. Taille is a tax. It's a direct tax. And another one is number of indirect taxes. For example, every day whatever they consumed, like salt or tobacco, for that also they have to pay indirect taxes. And the third one is the special tax, tithe. This is only paid by peasants. This can be collected by the church people. For example, the first estate people, clergy. So these are the things happen in French. Clergy and nobility were only 10%. So in the population side, the very less population. This first two estate people comprised very less population, only 10%, but they possessed how much percentage of lands? 60% of lands. And third estate was 19%. Population is 19%, but they possessed only 40% of the lands. This was the status of society of French during 18th century, right? So how they have struggled. So this is the social cause for the French Revolution. Next, let's see about the economic cause. So in the economy, how the people suffered and how this lead to the French Revolution. So here we have to discuss about subsistence crisis. Actually, there was a shortage of food grains, scarcity of food grains. That made the another cause for the French Revolution. The common people mainly affected by this. So we know that the population is gone increasing in French. Yes, it is from 23 million to 28 million from 1715 to 1789. So what happened? This increased, and this population increased. The same way the demand for the food grains also increased. So the production, however, the production, they couldn't keep pace with the demand. So how much they demanded, that much production not gone. So ultimately what will happen? They increased the prices of the food grain. So what happened actually? Due to the increasing population, the food grains, actually the demand for the food grains also increased, and the production is not at all cope up with the population growth. So what happened? Automatically they increase the prices of the food grains. So this is the main situation that is mainly affected the common people. So here the most workers, laborers in the workshops. Okay, so they did not see increase in their wages. They couldn't get proper affordable wages. So they worked for very low wages. So they couldn't buy these food grains because the prices also high, but the wages are very low. So they couldn't buy. Next, the situation when it became worse means whenever drought or hail, actually there was hailstones, for example snow, rain also, they were suffered by winter season with snow rains. So this also affected the crops. So this drought and the hail season, this reduced the harvest. So the production of food grains also decreased and the prices increased, but wages are very low. How this people manage? So these all led to the scarcity of the food grains and subsistence crisis, and which started occurring frequently during old regime. So old regime before 1789, it was known as old regime. That time there was a subsistence crisis happened. So this made the people to fight against the king. So ultimately this anger, they actually raged with us, and they stormed the Bastille. So now I hope you are clear that why this common people involved in this revolution, right? So this is mainly for the economic cause. And let's see about the political cause. Before that, you have to see this is the Estates General. Before the French Revolution, this gathering is known as Estate General. Here all three estate peoples gathered and discussed about the forthcoming issues. Here only the first two estate people have been allowed to sit inside, and the third estate people, they have to stand back in front of the Estate General. This was a big hall, and you can see how it was given here. Next, tennis court oath. You have to remember this tennis court oath, because after this French Revolution, there was a tremendous change happened. There at the tennis court, they have taken oath. They have promised to bring some constitution and other things. Some philosophers, they guided the people to how to conduct the government after the revolution. So you have to remember this. Next, Great Fear Peasant Revolt is given. This picture mainly in the village side. What happened? There was the rumor that the king and the nobles are sending their military to attack the peasants and their land, and so regarding this, the people got anger, and they have started re-attacking those military. This was the situation given here. And storming of Bastille. These are the important events related to the French Revolution. At last, what the outbreak? At last, what they have done? They just stormed the Bastille. It happened on July 14, 1789. Here, 18 people died and 73 wounded, and 7 guards also killed by the people. And actually, the prisoners, those who are there, only 7 prisoners. In that, 5 ordinary and 2 madmen. Bread riots. This is also main reason for this. Actually, we have discussed under economic crisis, right? Actually, there is a shortage of food grains, so that there was a bread riots. Regarding bread, there was a riot happened. So people were hungry. The country was broke because of the hunger, but the Queen Mary Antoinette said, let them eat cake. So how they are enjoying, they were not at all worried about the people. Now look at the Mary's necklace. How much cost it is? Yes, now it is compared to this Louvres, it is given in Louvres, right? 1,600,000 it's given here. So you just see 100 million today it's costed. So now let's see the political cost. So many things we have seen. Some of the incidents whatever happened before the French Revolution, they were the cause for the French Revolution. During French Revolution, all the incidents happened. So now you have to know about the political situation of French. So here the king was Louis XVI. He came into the power in 1774, and when that time he found empty treasury. Why this was empty? Because long years of war, this had drained the financial resources of France. Before he came to power, there was a long war happened. Because of that, all the sources was drained, so they found empty treasury there. Under Louis XVI, France helped the 13 American colonies to gain. So already it was empty, and next to this Louis XVI, what he had done, he helped 13 American colonies to gain their independence from their common enemy Britain. This also added more than $1 billion livres in debt, and already they have risen to more than $2 billion livres. So they had more and more debt, and then an extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. I'll show you the palace Versailles, how it was decorated. So there was extraordinary decoration was there in Versailles. So these extravagant court also cost more money. For that some sources also needed. And next, to meet their regular expenses also they need much economy, such as the cost of maintaining army, the court, running government offices or universities, the state. This also forced to increase taxes. So in the political side, what happened, they were enjoying extravagantly, so it leads to the imposing of more and more taxes on people. So this made the main reason for the French Revolution. This is political cause is a main thing. So now you look at the picture here. The French monarchy from 75 to 93 was given. See the King Louis XVI and the Mary Antoinette, his wife Mary Antoinette, the Queen Mary Antoinette is also given here. And look at the palaces, how it was built, how much was spent to build this. To maintain this event, they need much and much resources, right? Next. This is the palace of Versailles, where the king and queen were resided. See the decoration of these palaces. To maintain this, they need more and more money. For that, to compensate this, they have imposed more and more taxes on people. And already you have seen the estate general. It was created 1614 even. Here the three estate people gather and discussed about the situations. Now, growing middle class. Actually, we have seen about the causes, the three causes which was main for the French Revolution. Now, the middle classes also in between, they are growing and they are the main factor for the French Revolution. The 18th century actually witnessed the emergence of social groups. They are termed as middle class. They earn their wealth through overseas trade from manufacturing of goods and professions. Actually, here this middle class includes mainly the traders. For overseas trade, doing overseas trade, they have earned more and more wealth also, and manufacturing goods and professions also they have created. Okay, this class mainly was educated class, and they believed that no group in society should be privileged by birth. Actually, the two estate people were given some privileges by birth. If they were born in that, they can enjoy those privileges. If anybody is not born in that group, they couldn't. So now what they believe, no group in society should be privileged by birth. They have to get all those things with that talent, not by birth. This is the main belief they had. So they were inspired the ideas that was given by various philosophers. So they have educated, they all educated, so they have read so many things which was written by the philosophers. These philosophers given more and more ideas. They have written more and more ideas related to the freedom. So this was learnt by them, and they have spread those things. They have discussed about the writing of the philosophers in saloons and coffee houses, wherever they are gathering, and spread among people through books and newspapers. And the American Constitution and its guarantee of individual rights was an important example for political thinkers in France. Actually, we have seen that some philosophers, they are keep on writing, and they are just making the people to aware about the situation what they had there. So here the American Constitution was prepared during that time, and they have guaranteed that individual rights. So they are thinking about the individual rights, and they also expected that thing. So political thinkers started to think about that in France, and they have written about this through newspaper and other things, and they made the people, those who are gathered in saloons and coffee houses, to spread among the people through books and newspapers. Now let's see about the philosophers and their contribution in revolution. So we have seen some of the causes for the French Revolution, and that was one side. And another side, how these people were made aware about this. This is because of the contribution of philosophers in revolution. So let's see one by one. John Locke. John Locke is a famous philosopher. He had written a book named Two Treatises of Government. in which he criticized the doctrine of the divine and absolute right of the monarch. So he criticized the laws of the divine. Actually, two treatises of governments means he has written about the ongoing government, that with absolute monarchy. So whatever the absolute rights they had and how they imposed on the people, about that he criticized in his book. And Jean-Jacques Rousseau, he was main in this French Revolution. He has written a book named Social Contract. In that he proposed a form of government based on a social contract between people and their representatives. So John Locke is criticizing the government, and Rousseau he is proposing that a form of government that should be needed for the people, actually that government should have, it is based on a social contract between people and their representatives, a representative democratic form of government to be needed for the French people. That was emphasized by Rousseau. And in Montaigne, another one philosopher is Montaigne. He has written a book named The Spirit of the Laws, in which what he proposed a division of power within the government between the legislative, executive and the judiciary. You have studied this in civics. Now I hope you are clear about that, how we have got this ideas. Yes, during French Revolution, and the philosophers, those who lived in that time, in that Montaigne is main, because he had written a book, The Spirit of Laws. In that even he proposed that division of power within the government, the power should be divided among the thing. Yes, and we have to keep this in mind, that they were the main thinkers, political thinkers and philosophers. They contributed a lot to the French Revolution. So this is very important. You have to keep it in mind. Now you can look at this picture. John Locke is also given, what he had done, John Locke, and Voltaire, philosophy, and Rousseau, philosophy also given here. Rousseau, we cannot forget, Social Contract is written by him, and John Locke, yes, that Spirit of Laws. And we have seen other philosophers too. So far we have discussed about the causes and the philosopher who contributed for the French Revolution, and even the middle class people, how they have contributed a lot to the French Revolution, how it was happened. In the rest of the things we can see in the remaining part. Thank you, children.